We need AI to have maternal instincts so it won't wipe us out. And if there's anything in our history that has shown us how our voices and our action is needed, it's this right here. Welcome to Frontline Women, a show dedicated to women on the leading edge of change and culture renewal in America. I'm Dalisia Coppersmith, and I'll be your host and guide as we explore emerging issues and opportunities for women to lead side by side with men every day. So let's get off the sideline and onto the front line right now. I have a bit of an existential question for you today, ladies. Do we really need AI mothers to save humanity? Well, according to an expert known as the godfather of AI, who was interviewed by Anderson Cooper not long ago, that's exactly what we'll need, because AI will become so intelligent that it will not put up with a lesser intelligent species, if you want to call it that, being humanity, being in charge of it. And so it will wipe us out. He says in the next 5 to 20 years, it could pose a serious threat, at least. And that the way to stop it is to program AI in a way that it has some sort of maternal instincts, or there is a maternal role at the top of AI who is making sure it has empathy and compassion for humanity so it doesn't kill us. I'm not kidding. Check this out. This is an article from Forbes magazine by Pia Lauritsen. She's a philosopher writing about tech and transformation. And she says that according to Geoffrey Hinton, who is known as the godfather of AI, AI needs maternal instincts. And she quotes, "If it's not going to parent me, it's going to replace me." That's what Hinton said at an AI4 conference in Las Vegas. So he is a pioneer, but he believes now that AI poses an existential threat to humanity. And we've been talking about this for a while. People who are not fans of AI have been deathly afraid of the rise of the machines. But it's really facing us right now because we've created an intelligent being, if you want to call it that, an alien being who is built on intelligence, which is interesting, but it's not sufficient. I'll read some of this article for you. Hinton doesn't think the solution to this threat is to force AI to submit to humans. Instead, he suggests building maternal instincts into AI models so they genuinely care about us and therefore won't want to wipe us out. I think that's pretty interesting. Okay. We need AI to have maternal instincts so it won't wipe us out. We're right here. The mothers in the world are right here. And if there's anything in our history that has shown us how our voices and our action is needed, it's this right here. Because we have now created artificial intelligence that lacks some of the qualities and characteristics that women have as leaders. And so when we have policies in place and we have opportunities in place and women are still sitting on the sidelines, we're making our tea and sitting with our yoga pants and we're happy we're not involved in things, well, this is what's going to happen, right? We're going to continue to have the systemic problems that we have had. And we'll talk about those in just a moment. So the CNN interview asked Hinton how easy it is from a technological perspective to build motherly instincts. Is there an example of that being done at all? And he says, not really. The only real example is evolution. He said, did a pretty good job with mothers. Well, thank you, sir. Unfortunately, we are underutilized. Unfortunately, we're still sitting on the sidelines hoping that men make the right decisions, that men solve problems or don't create them at least. But that hasn't borne out. A few things I wanted to point out that we have, I'm just going to say, to some extent, we have allowed to get worse. We may not have started it, or we may not have had a voice when these things got rolling, over the last couple hundred years. But just some interesting stats. The Center for International Security Studies says 231 million people have been killed or allowed to die by human decision in wars and conflicts in the last 100 years. 231 million. There are over 30 million in modern slavery, think human trafficking and so forth. Women make up 78% of that population, or 23 million. Children make up 38%, or 11 million. And some of that has happened on our watch, ladies. I'm just going to say it like that. Some of that has happened on our watch. And we can say, well, men are starting wars and men are starting businesses like the porn industry or video game industry, et cetera, et cetera. But I'd say women are also contributing to those. And any policies or legislation that could be in place, we're not pushing it. We're not running for office. We're not leading organizations. We're still waiting to be invited. And I say this on almost every episode. I feel like I definitely say it to the women that I coach. What are you waiting for? Find something that you care about. And I hope that it's not just at the community level, because that's where women have been made to feel their place is close to home. Volunteer at the school board, maybe run for city council, but keep it small, right? Too many of us are doing that. Meanwhile, the world is on fire, and AI poses an existential threat to humanity because we are on the sidelines. So my challenge to you is to stop complaining about what the men have created, stop complaining about the world's problems that you are doing nothing about, and just find that one thing that you care about, and step into it in a bigger, bolder way than you ever thought possible. And that could mean starting a business. It could mean running for office. And I don't just mean for the school board. I mean for Congress, for Senate, for a governorship. All right. That's what we have to do. We have to stop thinking that our place is only the walls around our home, that's our business, or maybe the schools that our kids go to, or just, where we work, where we get our paycheck. There are no borders. There are no walls. You can contribute anywhere to anything. And when I read this, you can tell I have a lot of energy around this. When I read that this godfather of AI is saying that we need AI mothers to save humanity, when we're all sitting right here, no kidding. Now, we may have not have been asked to help solve problems in the past, but we have to step up now. That's the bottom line. We have to step up now in greater numbers. And it's not always your time. Maybe you're raising kids. Okay, totally fine. You can write articles. You could write a book. You can contribute in some way to the conversations and the decisions. You can get involved politically by showing up to rallies or town halls. There are so many things that we could be doing that they don't have to take our whole life up, but we have to show up in greater numbers. We have to speak out in greater numbers. So I don't know what we're waiting for, but I can tell you AI is not waiting. AI is not waiting. 5 to 20 years, if we don't program maternal instincts into AI, it could do away with the human race, which is it's insane. We've created it, right? And women these days have stood by and let a lot of these things happen. So we have to stop waiting to be invited to solve problems. Right now, the godfather of AI is inviting programmers to try to replicate maternal instincts, which is almost impossible. Okay. There is no replacement for us. There simply is no replacement for us. So, what are you going to care about and what are you going to act on? That's my challenge for you today. Because in your world, there is no maternal AI that's going to come along and solve the problems. It has to be you and me, and we have to do it today. So, wherever you are in the world, thank you for listening and thank you for considering how you could step up in greater ways. I challenge you, I dare you, because you're needed. All right, see you again next week.